Ready to roll.
Where is the thing now? Hi there, Jay. It shows that you were at the meeting. Are you here?
Yep, Bill, I'm in here. Thank you.
All right, you hearing me all right?
Yep,
All
sounds
right,
good.
good to go. Again, thanks for making it to the meeting. We're going to start a little bit earlier since you're here. What we're going to do today, Jay, is just walk you through some very basic tips to make sure that your Twitter account that we've set you up with here is being used properly so that you know what you're expected to post on it, how to use it if you haven't used it before, as well as just giving you some tips to make sure that you're using it to the best of your ability. I'll just get rid of this little guy here. Here we go. I prepared a slideshow to show you for today. It's got a couple tips on there. So we're going to start out with a real basic overview. Welcome to Twitter. Twitter is a great social media tool that can serve a variety of purposes. They're very good for launching ad campaigns, for commenting on ad campaigns, for keeping up with what's going on in the news with current trends. You can also use your Twitter in conjunction with a blog that you may have, or with your Facebook account, your LinkedIn account, just to make sure that they are all being used together. And you really want to make sure then that everything is building on one another and that it's working to the best of its ability. So the first thing that we're going to do, obviously, is once you sign up for Twitter, you're going to choose your handle or your username, whichever you prefer to call it. You want to make sure that you choose a name that you can remember, obviously. Make sure that you choose a password that you can remember. You also want to make sure that your password is secure. Using various upper and lowercase letters, as well as some numbers or symbols in your password is one of the ways to make sure to keep your password secure. You can also personalize it to yourself. Things like security questions that you can ask yourself if you want to make sure that you're the only person who knows it, who can figure it out. Lastly, we do want you to customize your profile. And you can do this real simply just by adding a picture. We don't want to see just the Twitter Easter egg. We want to see your face. This will help people recognize you on Twitter through an image if they don't necessarily know your name off the top of their head. Going forward, after you got your handle set up, you're going to want to start following people as well as adding followers. You can search for people directly, or you can search for people by browsing current trends. Very similar to Facebook in that you're building an online community, if you will. People that will be able to see what you're talking about. You'll be able to see what they're talking about. Facebook, a lot of people make a big deal about how many friends they have. Some people can do that with Twitter as well. It's not that big of a deal, especially in a business setting like this. We just want to make sure, more importantly, that you have a Twitter account and that you are able to use it efficiently. So once you get some followers up, you will have a little bit more content in your Twitter feed to go from. And then we're going to start posting content. Some very easy reminders. Make sure that you realize you've only got 142 characters. They can go pretty quickly. So a lot of times creating a really good tweet is all about making sure that you're streamlining the message to fit into those 142 characters. You want to make sure what kind of Twitter profile yours is. Again, since we provided you with this Twitter through our business, we are expecting it to be a professional Twitter profile. We want to make sure that you're, using it the way it's meant to be used. And then the last three things you see there, don't be afraid to tweet at people or use hashtags or to favorite posts. Those are all really great tools to use to make sure that people are seeing your message, as well as to demonstrate that you actually know what you're doing with Twitter. Hashtags can be really good, again, as we saw earlier, for trending posts. If you want to get a topic trending, follow the hashtags. Favoriting posts is another really great thing you can do to let people know that you're viewing their posts, and hopefully they reciprocate that. And then again, using the @ symbol, that means that a person will receive your message directly because you are including them. So that regardless of the avenue you go, if you direct message or if you just tweet out in general, that person will be able to see it. Couple more tips for posting. As we alluded to before, direct messaging or DMing is a really great way to or to interact directly with the person that you're trying to tweet with. Also with including the ats. And then again, we're just going back to the use of favoriting and the use of hashtags, and the importance of both. You also want to make sure that you're reviewing your content, especially since we are trying to make sure that we're generating buzz for our company. We want to make sure that the message makes sense. Check for spelling errors. Nobody wants to see errors. That's a real simple scan over will do. And then, again, consider if you want to add a Twitter address or a hashtag. Is it appropriate? Is it something that you're just kind of off the cuff mentioning, or is it something, a small part of a larger ad campaign? And finally, what we want you to do is make sure that you're using it. Twitter can be a really effective tool in generating buzz, and that's what we want to make sure that we're using it for here at our company. And lastly, that's just another personal little reminder and tip that I give to people is the most important thing you can do is make sure that you understand that virtually anybody can see what you are going to be posting. So make sure that you're comfortable with what you are posting. And then you see at the end, the rule of thumb I follow is what I want my mother to read my post. So that's the end of the slideshow. Do you have any questions so far, Jay? Are you still with us?
Yep, I'm still here.
Alrighty.
No questions so far.
All right, the next thing we're going to do is I've gone ahead and I've pulled up a PDF file online with some more just basic tips for Twitter for beginners. Here you can see I have it downloaded into a PDF file. Let me see if I can find the URL for it. It looks like I downloaded it and then opened it up instead. But again, this is just a real easy sort of 32-page basic. This is what Twitter does, and this is how you're going to use it. Twitter's like a party, that sort of thing. Again, what we really want to make sure we're doing is that when you're using your Twitter, you're using it in creating content that can really be used for an overall goal. We want to make sure that, again, everything that we're putting on there is professional. We want to make sure that everything we're putting on there is on message and relevant to what we are doing with our company. And if you have any questions, I want you to feel free to email me at wgehrke@student.morainepark.edu, and I will respond with any sort of advice that I can give. That was basically everything I wanted to accomplish in this meeting. So again, Jameson, thank you very much for being here. I'm glad you could make it.
All right, Bill, thanks so much for having me.
And I hope to view your tweets and make sure you're using them right. Alrighty, thanks a lot, Jay. We'll talk to you later.
Yep, thanks, Bill.